Let's talk about one of our favorite negotiation topics, lowball offers. All right, we're going to talk about it from 3 standpoints. 1, if you're a buyer, should you submit a lowball offer? 2, if you're a seller, should you even bother countering a lowball offer? And 3, how much should you share with your realtor about what your threshold is, whether you're a buyer or seller? So let's start with the fun one. If you're a buyer, should you submit a lowball offer? 23 years of experience, what do you say?
I say probably not. I'd like to say no, but I'll say probably not. I think that generally, even in this different market, I still think sellers are insulted by lowball offers. And as I mentioned, in this market right now, often if the property's priced appropriately, it's being competitive. I will say though that a lowball offer might help begin getting a buyer to actually take some action and getting the negotiating process started. However, I would say generally my experience has been that it has worked against a buyer to submit a lowball offer. It just creates a little bit too much friction up front.
Yeah. For our buyers, we usually recommend if we feel the property is priced fairly and we are not in a competitive situation, we say 5 to 7% is reasonable off of asking price. Now, every situation is different and we'll help you analyze that. Bill, some realtors won't even submit a lowball offer if they feel like it's too low. What's our stance on that?
You know, usually it is a discussion with, certainly we do our due diligence, so we'll take a look at some comparables, we'll have a conversation with the listing agent, we'll have some more in-depth with conversation with the buyer. Ultimately, we will do, unless the buyer wants to write an offer, say $10. Generally, we are going to work together with the buyer to accomplish what they're looking to do.
Yeah. So generally, we will submit them, but we'll educate you along the way because it's our goal to get you the home if it's the home that you want for a price that is fair. And sometimes a lowball isn't the right way to go about it. But each situation is different. So let's turn to sellers. So you're a seller. You get a lowball offer. What do you do?
Well, if you are one of my sellers, when I call you, text you, and email you with this offer, it is always going to say good news at the start of that message. And the reason why is because even if it is a low offer, it is still good news. For a couple of reasons. One, you never know when and how a deal is going to come together. Buyers will come up, sellers might, there's so many different terms in an offer, so many things to negotiate. Is not just price. So things still might come together. And then also, if it doesn't, in the future when the next buyer comes along, then we can now say, hey, you're anchoring yourself a little bit. Hey, we had a previous offer. The number wasn't quite good enough. It didn't come together. And that way it sort of validates with other buyers, hey, buyers are interested in this property. They even made an offer and the seller is sort of sticking to their guns. So it helps lay the groundwork for the next negotiation.
Absolutely. And it keeps the conversation going. That buyer, you don't know what's in their head. They could be very willing to come up. And even if you counter at the asking price, we always encourage a counter to keep the conversation going and the negotiations open. And part of the reason you work with a broker is to take the emotion out of it for you. So we always advise too to think about it, even though it's your home that you've loved for years and you're sentimental, keep the emotion out of it and then let us go to work for you.
Yeah, as we shoot this video, actually we have one property pending right now that I think the initial offer came in about 12% off of the asking price. We did not counter in writing, but basically said, hey, that's too far off. And that buyer, that agent did submit a new offer at the asking price and we are currently pending. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great example. So the third topic is, should you share with your realtor what your threshold is, whether you're a buyer or seller? I've had the experience where I work with some clients that are very forthcoming, like we're not going to sell for less than this. And then I've worked with others that you can tell they're keeping their cards close to the vest because they're worried that we're going to disclose something that doesn't put them in a favorable light or get them to where their goal is. So what's your take on that?
I liked, as we discussed before, Elisa's analogy is when you go visit the doctor, you should tell them exactly what is going on, exactly what ails you. And that is essentially our belief with sellers as well, and buyers for that matter. They should share. Of course, everybody wants to get the best cost possible deal, and we want that for our clients as well. We want that for our sellers to get their best possible deal. But being upfront on what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve, that's our belief that we're going to be able to best serve you if we are 100% honest with each other.
And I think part of that is the experience that people have had either through word of mouth from other realtors or personal experiences. We both have had extensive training in negotiations and are skilled at navigating those conversations for you. So the more information that you give us, the better we're able to do that. So that's our take on lowball offers. Hopefully you found this helpful. It's one of our favorite topics. Click like and subscribe for more content like this.